Good afternoon. Am I speaking with Mr. Flabby?
Dear Flabby, I'm the 112-pound, 18-year-old homo who was accosted by a homeless man during the patron calls this past episode. After our conversation, I realized I had another question I want answered. There are several drugs I want to try, but would like some insight on these drugs because I know you've tried at least a couple on this list. The drugs I want to try are psychedelic mushrooms, LSD, cocaine, ecstasy, and Xanax. I have relatively easy access to at least a couple of these drugs. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the list and maybe some advice on them. Thank you, Chris. My only advice is don't do drugs.
Is that like what you're supposed to say?
No, after having gone through what I've been through, like I wouldn't wish my history on anybody else.
Sure.
So I'm not going to tell somebody, yeah, man, you should try this, or this, because except for maybe the like LSD, I'm fine with that. But
the problem is that like there are plenty of people who try drugs and have really good experiences. They don't all go overboard like you did. So, you know, you can't, it's hard to just say your experience is the norm. You know what I mean? So
that's all well and good, but I can say I can only speak on my experience.
Sure.
And with that being said, I would say save your money, buy a fucking Nintendo.
Awesome.
Like, was cocaine on that list?
Yes.
I don't think it was.
It was.
Yeah, really, really don't do cocaine.
The only thing on that list that I've tried is Xanax. And so Xanax is supposed to like relax you, chill you out, you know, like it's for anxiety. So I don't know what, like how it happens or whatever, but like it would be like if you took, say like your leg hurt and you took ibuprofen and like when you took the ibuprofen, it made your whole body hurt. Like it had the exact opposite effect of what it was supposed to do. So when I took Xanax, I have never been more like freaked out in my life. I was sweating and anxious and like the world was caving in. It was insane.
Are you sure you didn't just eat a large pizza?
I mean, can it be both?
There's times when I'll overeat and then I feel all like sweaty and clammy and I feel like the world's caving in.
So I had a presentation that I had to do to a group of engineers about a project that I was working on. And I was nervous because I have anxiety. I don't like talking in public. I don't like speaking to a bunch of people. So I decided I'm going to get a prescription for Xanax. So I did it. And about a half an hour before I had to do this presentation, I took a Xanax thinking that it calms you down, and it had the exact opposite effect. So I was standing in front of this group of engineers sweating and stammering, and like it was like the worst parts of this podcast where I just stammer and say stupid shit, but I didn't cuss or anything. It was like I was telling stupid things about the project I was working on, just stammering and sweating instead of
Okay. So if somebody was to say, hey, Anthony, I'm thinking about trying some Xanax, do you think I should?
No.
Okay, you're doing exactly what I did. There are people that have had good experiences with Xanax, and you're discounting all those because of your experience.
Yeah. Yeah, but my experience is different. Yeah, you're right. So I want to, and I'm not making this up, I've been thinking about this for a long time. I wanted to start microdosing mushrooms, like psilocybin mushrooms, but I don't know how. I don't know where to get it. I mean, I know what microdosing is. I know how to do it. I wouldn't know where to get it. You know what I mean? So maybe someday I'll try that. I don't fucking
So, Chris, if you got a hookup,
if you got a hookup, you know what I mean? Help me out, man.
Yeah, I would go so far as to beg him, like, especially the cocaine. Don't do coke.
Out of all of those drugs, I would say that cocaine would be the one that I wouldn't recommend.
Unless you're going to smoke it. It's not addictive if you smoke it.
Right. But out of all of those drugs, if there were a drug that I were going to be addicted to, I'm assuming it would be cocaine. Because I like...
I don't get me wrong. I love the feeling.
Right. That would be that would be my main reason why I would never try cocaine. Like, because I know myself and I know that I would be like, yeah, this is me now. Cocaine is who I am now.
I was at a club and okay, so I'm going to tell you two versions of this story. All right. So this is back when I was in shape, so I didn't look like I do now. I had been drinking and doing coke, and I had to walk. I had to walk from the table to the bar and get a couple pitchers of beer for the table, and then come back. And I can remember walking across the dance floor, and I was the smoothest motherfucker in the bar. Like I wasn't even walking; I was just gliding.
You were floating right along.
And anybody that came up and talked to me, I was talking and having a great conversation, and I knew what to say and when to say it. You know, if I wanted to make a joke, my punchlines were on point. Everything.
Yep.
Not only that, there wasn't one person in that bar that could have kicked my ass that night. I was hyper focused. I grabbed the 2 pitchers of beer, and just as smooth as I went to the bar, I went back to the table, set the pitchers down, and had a great fucking conversation. Okay. Now, what really happened was, as I was stumbling across the bar, bumping into people, the whole time my jaw was going like this. I had jitter jaw, and I would not shut the fuck up. I was just talking to anybody that looked in my general direction, pretty much incoherently about rambling shit that nobody gave a shit about. I grabbed the 2 pitchers of beer from the bar, annoyed the bartender because I would not shut the fuck up. When I was walking across the dance floor, I was bumping into everybody and beer sloshing everywhere.
You don't remember any of that.
Oh, I was told as they told me I couldn't be there anymore.
You got to go. You're way too smooth for this place.